Hello, and welcome to Brettcast Music Talk. As a person who, for a time, was a classical musician, it was very much of an influence on my views of music and the types of music that I like to listen to and the reasons that I like them. This kind of delves into that, but is more or less me saying, what the fuck type of music is this? And then saying why I think it's not. Remember, this is just my opinion and not like any kind of factual information at all. With that out of the way, let's get into it. So when it comes to driving, I listen mainly to 3 radio stations, sometimes 4 on occasion. I won't give any station names because not everyone will be able to listen to these stations. I have a classic rock station, a rock/metal station, a rock/metal station for when I go see my girl, since my other rock metal station doesn't come in, and occasionally classical music station. I'm only going to focus on the rock/metal stations because though they broadcast in different areas, they generally play the same type of music. To make things easier, I will use samples of the songs when I bring them up so you know what I'm talking about. So when I think of modern rock songs, I think of Brain Stew by Green Day,
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting sheep but running out. As time ticks by, still
or Battle Cry by Imagine Dragons, or Cut the Cord by Shinedown, or most songs by Starset, but I chose this one.
All my life they let me know how far I would not go, but inside the beast still grows, waiting, chewing through the ropes.
Though some are borderline electronic music for Starset. This is because the fact that the songs are more lyrical focused and about what the message of the song is. That, in my opinion, is what separates modern rock to heavy metal. One pet peeve that I have is that most people's ideas of heavy metal always involves screaming when it comes to the vocals, which attributes to screamo metal, and I can't stand screamo metal. What I consider metal is any song by Metallica, Megadeth, or Slayer, to name a few. I do listen to some power metal like Rhapsody of Fire, Dream Evil, or Dragon Force, to name a few, but I don't need to get into that right now. When I'm listening to my rock metal stations while I'm driving, they will play good stuff like Ozzy, Metallica, and a variety of classic rock songs, which is perfect and keeps me listening to the station. Now, what I have a problem with is when they go and play several modern rock songs, and this is the point when I ask, is this really rock? My answer is no, but I will explain to you. Now keep in mind my examples of what I consider to be modern rock songs that I had said already a little bit ago. Listen to this small part of the song called Born for Greatness by Papa Roach.
I am a man at war, and I am fighting for all of the broken people, all of the people thrown overboard. They always try to shame us, but they don't speak the language. No, we're not nameless, we're not faceless, we were born for greatness. Somebody sound the alarm. Fire was set in the dark. It's time that you know. No, we're not.
So, this really is one that hit one of the categories for be considered a modern rock song in my opinion, and that's the fact that it focuses on the lyrics and what the message being told is. It doesn't have nearly enough guitar in it, and by the way he's singing most of the time is what I would be considered rapping. Plus, besides the very limited amount of guitar in the song, the only thing he raps over is electronic noise and synth strings. The next one we have is titled Walk on Water by 30 Seconds to Mars. Here is a small sample of the song.
Can you even see what you're fighting for? Bloodlust and a holy war. Listen up, hear the patriots shout. Times are changing. In the end, the choice was clear. Take a shot in the face of fear. Fist up in the firing line. Times are changing.
This song is the perfect example of what I'm trying to say in this whole discussion. Now, part of the reason I think this steaming pile of shit is considered modern rock is because 30 Seconds to Mars is classified as a rock band, and they used to be. I used to like maybe one or two or three of their songs, but in recent times I don't think they are classified as rock anymore. This whole song is essentially what I would consider to be a pop song. This is because of the total lack of all guitar. The drums sound like drum samples, and the vocals go from rapping to singing in a large group, and finally, the fact that they just use random electronic samples under the vocals. This is not rock music, people. The next song I picked, because I feel like the song is being overplayed on the radio and I am sick of it, but for the purpose of this discussion, I listened to it again. Now we have a song called RX by Theory of a Dead Man.
Up to a cloudy day, dark rolls in and it starts to rain. Staring out to the cage like walls. Time goes by and the shadows crawl. Crushing candy, crushing pills. Got no job, mom pays my bills. Texting exes, get my feels. Sweating bullets, Netflix chills. World's out there singing the blues. 20 more dead on the evening news. Think to myself, really what's the use? I'm just like you, I was born to lose.
Now, I will give the credit for actually playing a guitar rhythm in the song. That's one point to the song. The drums sound like they're drum samples. The vocals are like borderline rapping, but not quite as bad as the last two songs. I don't like the overuse of whistling in the song, as it seems like you can't come up with some kind of instrumental thing to put in there, like a guitar solo or something. But, you know, maybe your guitarist isn't talented enough for doing a solo. Now, this fourth song is going to seem a bit odd because one of the songs that I picked as what I consider to be a great example of what a modern rock song is also by them. Listen to this sample of the song Believer by Imagine Dragons.
First things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. Oh, ooh, the way that things have been. Oh, ooh. Second thing, second, don't you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one at the sail, I'm the master of my sea. Oh, ooh.
I know, this seems counterintuitive, but hear me out. Like the last song, partially the reason I picked it is because of the fact that it's being really overplayed on the radio right now. Now, I don't know what happened in between Battle Cry and this song with Imagine Dragons, but it seems like they took out all the really good guitar stuff for a repetitive piano rhythm. Their drums at least sound like a real person playing them, and not a sampled drum beat that's electronic. The vocals are similar to how they are in Walk on Water, which is not that great in my opinion. Okay, the final song is going to be analyzed in a different way because this is the first thing that pops into my mind every time I hear this song. Listen to this sample of a song called I Only Lie When I Love You by Royal Blood.
I only lie when I love you. I only cry when I hit the ground. You only cry when I love.
First, yes, you are correct in thinking that I don't like this song, but mainly for the reason that this song makes literally no sense at all. I don't even understand what the title of the song means, which is the line that they repeat over and over and often switch the wording of the line, and it still makes no sense. Like when he says, I only crawl when I hit the ground. What does this mean? Like, yeah, when you are on the ground, you can crawl on the ground, but like, what does this line mean? Unless it's something that is really deep that you have to really sit down and think about while listening to the song many times, then you got me, because I don't have the want or need to do so. There are parts of the lyrics that basically makes it sound like a couple fighting, and that seems pretty clear. But there are lines like the one I already mentioned that really make no clear sense in the context of the song. So there are 5 examples. I picked these 5 because of how much I hear the songs on the radio, no matter how much time I am driving for. Some of my complaints may also be the fact that I don't actively follow any of these bands and therefore don't know much of their catalog. And this is partially true. I also think that these bands are trying to do whatever they can to stay relevant, so they incorporate aspects from pop music. Sometimes it's well received by its fans, and some reject it completely, and that is something that is going to happen. I personally don't think that these bands need to do this kind of crap to stay relevant. They just need to keep doing what they are doing, and their fans will still love them. At least most of them. Yes, it is clear to see that none of these bands are my cup of tea, and I will never listen to them if I don't have to, but that's me, and I don't and never will judge anyone who does like any other bands and songs that I talked about. So, with that, I have nothing left to say. So if you want to add to the conversation, leave a comment below. As always, thanks for listening, and goodbye.